What's up? I'm currently standing on the top of this sweet tugboat, and we are pushing a tremendous amount of wheat down the river from Lewiston all the way to Vancouver. Idaho is a big time producer of wheat. We don't just keep it to ourselves though, we send it out to other states and even internationally. And so what we wanted to do was just see what the process looks like from start to finish. Now the only way to do that was just to board this thing and ride it for 3 days and see what happens along the way. So I actually flew out to Lewiston, and then yesterday morning I got up, I went down to Lewiston-Clark Terminal, and I watched them loading up these barges that you see here right now. I actually got to know a lot of the family farms that have been around for 4 generations, 5 generations. Well, they were bringing their wheat down in the back of semi-trucks. The wheat was getting sucked up into these giant grain bins, and then from the grain bins, the wheat was shooting out through this tube, dropping right down into the barges. The amount of wheat we're pushing down the river with this tug is the same amount of wheat that it would take 538 semi-trucks full of wheat. Think about the exhaust, the wear and tear on the road, and all the other resources that are used to get them from point A to point B, versus something as simple as using the current of the river that's already here to get the wheat down the river. So then I went down to the Port of Wilma and I got hooked up with this Tidewater tugboat. The crew is extremely friendly. This thing is state of the art, really nice machine. We went back down to Lewiston-Clark Terminal where we collect these 2 barges. The pilot skillfully connects them and we take off and leave Lewiston. The river has 8 dams. At each of these dams, there's a lock system that allows the boats to get from one side to the other safely and effectively. These locks are incredible. I couldn't believe it when I went through the first one. I'm talking like huge, majestic works of humankind. These dams provide a lot of power. So the 8 dams on this river provide power for 1.87 million families. To put that into perspective, Idaho has about 1.7 million people in the state. So this is providing a tremendous amount of power, and not just any power. This is clean power, renewable energy. An alternative might be coal. I mean, we're talking a huge benefit to the environment. So we got through that dam, we continue on down the river, and we continually encounter these dams and pass through on the locks. Every time that we would go through, I would just sit and look at the grandeur of these locks and the dams and the work that went into them and how effective they are and what they're doing here on the river. And I just was amazed the whole time. Probably my favorite part of this whole trip. Once we get through the last one, we'll be home free to Vancouver. And once we get to Vancouver, this wheat can be sent out to the necessary places and the necessary people. We should be rolling in sometime around 9 p.m. tomorrow night. So I still have one more night out here on the river. And at this point, I'm just gonna kick back and just enjoy this awesome ride. So I'm gonna tune out, finish the rest of the trip, and take care.